Yo, what up, YouTube? It's Rye. And let me holler at you real quick. No matter how hard they're hitting you, no matter how hard they're pushing you, do not engage. The best way to overcome the odds is to not engage. Every problem that you're having, every issue that you're having, doesn't cause you to engage with them. If you engage with everybody, you still losing. Understand that when you're always at war, you're not focused on the end goal. When whether it's you're at war with somebody else or you're at war with yourself, when you are constantly at battle, you're losing sight of the goal, you're losing sight of what needs to get done. What do you get even if you win? Let's say you beat them. So what? The only thing that gives you is bragging rights. Put your pride to the side, put your ego to the side. So what, you won? The only time you need to be fighting is when your life is on the line. If your life ain't on the line, disengage. Instead of engaging with them, engage with the goal. Instead of engaging with them, engage in what you need to be in your work, in your passion. Imagine all that energy you have going back with of other people. Imagine you took that same energy and put it into whatever you want to be, whatever you're trying to accomplish. You want to be a singer. Imagine you put that anger, that passion, that angst into writing some songs. Imagine you took that anger and passion, you were an athlete, and took it to the court, to the field. So understand that, do not engage. You know, they lay crumbs for the mouse to come out. You know, they put food by the mouse trap to lure it there. That's you when you engage. That's you. You saw all the warning signs and you engaged anyway. Disengage from frivolous content. Disengage from frivolous conflicts. You don't need to be engaging in that. You don't need to be fighting in that. Like I said, don't allow yourself to be disrespected. You disrespected, call it out. Don't be nobody's punching bag. Don't be nobody's person where they have a right to put you down. No, I ain't saying that. I'm saying when someone's obviously trying to bait you into conflict, disengage. Cause why? They got nothing better to do. That's the first thing to realize. They can go all day, all night, forever. And remember, don't take it personal. Cause they got nothing to do with you. If they can't do it with you, they'll just move on to somebody else. Cause someone's always gonna bite the hook. Don't bite the fish. Don't be the fish that bites the hook. That's the last thing you want to be. Don't be the fish that bites the hook. That's what bait is. When they put the worms on the hook and they bite it, that's going to be you if you allow it to happen. So understand, my friend, do not engage. Don't pass go. Do not engage. That's what they're looking for. And they wean out and they sniff out people who will fall for the bait. That's the whole thing. So when you set out on your journey, you are in shark-infested waters. That's what you're in. And they sniff out fear. They sniff out low self-esteem. They sniff out pain. They sniff out low sense of self-worth. They sniff out lack of confidence. So do not bleed in front of a shark. Don't give them an ounce of weakness. Don't give them nothing to work with. They can't work with nothing if you don't give them nothing. So understand, my friend, do not engage. The only time you need to be engaged is if your life is on the line. Fight to preserve your foundation. Fight to preserve your life. Fight for that. Fight for stuff that matters. When someone's trying to breach your home, you fight, you defend it. That's what you fight for. Don't fight to win just to win. Because you don't win. Even if you win, you lose. One step forward, two steps back. So remember, my friend, disengage from conflict. Unless it's something worth fighting for. If it's something worth fighting for, fight for it if it means something to you. But that's why a lot of people feel empty. Because their ego and pride led them to engage in these conflicts, and they come out of it and y'all like, I don't feel no better. You don't feel no better because you wasn't meant to be engaging in that. You wasn't supposed to be engaging in that because you are above that. When you lower yourself, when you come out of it, you feel worse about yourself. That's why you feel bad. When you do things that you know you're not supposed to be doing, that don't sit right with your spirit, You feel bad because you knew I wasn't supposed to be doing that. I lower myself to that standard. I need to hold myself to a higher standard. So you set the standard. And when you lower your standards, people notice that. People notice when you do things like that. You know? So remember, when you're out there on your journey, make sure you understand that how you're represented, how you're perceived, and your reputation means everything. Because people can say what they want to say. If you got a good reputation, none of that matters. They can say, oh, he this, she that. And everybody be like, no, he not. No, she not. You'll have a defense team. It's like when you move with it, that's why integrity is so important when nobody's watching. When you have integrity, no matter who's watching, people be all like, no, I know him. He wouldn't. Nah, that ain't true. So when people try to throw dirt on your name, they're like, nope, I know her. I know him. They wouldn't do that because you move with integrity. But when you lower yourself to less than, when you lower the standard, people notice that. So don't allow yourself to be engaging in certain things that don't sit right with your spirit. Because now you won't have that response team defending you. Because they'll be all like, you know what? I did see him doing that. Oh, yeah, I saw her doing that. Yeah, I saw it. You might be right. Maybe he lying. Maybe she not really like that. Maybe he not like that because I saw him doing da-da-da-da. I saw her doing whoop-de-woo. I saw that. If they don't see it, well, don't do it. Whether they see it or not, don't do it. But I'm saying if they have no evidence of it don't matter who throw dirty on the name because they got no evidence. That's why you don't engage. When you do engage, when it's the right time to engage, people be all like, hey, yeah, he did that, but he wouldn't have done that if he wasn't pushed. She wouldn't have done that if they weren't in that conflict. You drove them to that. So people will be quicker to defend your actions, even if you got out of character, because you was only engaging to defend yourself. You wouldn't engage otherwise. So even if you did get out of your body, which you shouldn't allow no one to get you out of your body, but they know why. So people gonna be all like, nah, he got out of his body, she got out of her body because you was doing such and such, so I can't defend that. They'll defend you. So remember, engage when necessary. If it ain't necessary, don't fall for it. Remember, they know what they doing. They don't let them play dumb, and they know what they doing. Engage when it's necessary. There's no need. Everything doesn't need to be a war. Everything doesn't need to be a battle. Because understand, my friend, war is costly, and it's the last thing you want to. And the last thing you want to do is lose. Hey, it's right. Like, comment, subscribe. I love you, family. Be growing, family. Woo woo. And you got this, homie. It's already yours.